Well, thank you very much, Jerry, and I want to thank you for calling us all together here. You know, some of our Republican friends have called debt and deficits the singular challenge of our time. I disagree. I think the growing inequality in our country is the singular challenge of our time. The fact that the top 2% of Americans now have as much earnings as the bottom 40%. Our Republican colleagues look at life differently than we do. They look at the budget and say, you know what the problem is? We're spending too much to take care of battered women. They look at the budget and say we're spending too much to help middle-class people send their kids to college. They look at the budget and said we're spending too much to feed children before they go to bed at night. We look at the budget a little bit differently. We say that what we need to fight for, if we're really going to fight for the future of our country and our city, we need to fight back against these attacks. And make no mistake about it, don't let Paul Ryan declare that this is a budget, a tax-cutting document. It is not. It is a tax-cutting document for the very well-to-do, but for New York City residents, it is a giant tax increase, and I'll tell you why. When you cut $800 billion from Medicaid, and don't say how we're going to take care of those people that would have been cared for with that money, all you're saying is, you know what, the federal government's not going to do it anymore. But those of us who live in New York City know that our healthcare economy and our basic sense of decency, we're not going to let people sit in the streets being sick or dying. We're not going to do that because it's the law, and we're not going to do it because it's the humane thing to do is to take care of those people. So what's going to happen? The people in this building behind me and my city council colleagues and state legislative colleagues are going to have to raise taxes. All this is cost shifting from one place to another. We're not going for it, and I'm proud to be a member of a House congressional delegation. Every single one of us saw this train coming through that tunnel. We all voted no on the bridge because it was a bridge to nowhere, and this week we're going to stick together and vote against this plan. And then we're going to stick together and fight to make sure that this mythology that Paul Ryan has created some courageous document is finally put to rest. The true courageous thing to say is what we're saying here today and what the people behind us are saying. If you want to improve the economy, you take care of our citizens. If you want to improve our economy, you close that gap in inequality that exists today. If you want to take care of our country, we understand the way to prosperity is to make sure that if any of us are going to get ahead, none of us get left behind. Thank you very much.
Well said, Judge. Well said.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from another one of our colleagues who's done a great job, especially in supporting public housing and low-income housing and human services, Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you. It is simply outrageous that now the Republicans expect for low-income people, the most vulnerable of our nation, among us, and the middle class, to clean up the economic mess created by the financial industry, by the two unfunded war, and now we reject this notion that they're going to declare a third war against poor people. We got to be outraged. We got to get out and say to the Republicans it's morally wrong to remove 2,400 schools from low-income communities to get any funding. It's morally wrong to terminate Medicare as we know it. It's morally wrong to, at a time when we're still recovering and our economy continues to be fragile, to cut the Small Business Administration budget by 17% at a time when we need to provide access to affordable capital. If it was good for Wall Street, it should be good for the small businesses that are creating the jobs in our communities.
Yeah.
So I want for everyone to get out and not only criticize Republicans. We have a Senate that is a majority controlled by the Democrats, and we have our president in the White House. They have to be courageous, stand tall, and reject. This is mean-spirited, and it's an attack on the most vulnerable among us.
En español, Nelsa. En español.
Estamos hoy aquí para denunciar este ataque frontal de parte de los republicanos. Es una guerra contra las clases trabajadoras, contra los pobres de esta nación. Simplemente los republicanos han creado este déficit presupuestario y ahora esperan balancear el presupuesto en las espaldas de los más vulnerables de nuestra sociedad. Quieren terminar Medicare, como se conoce, quieren hacer permanentes recortes contributivos a las clases más privilegiadas de esta nación. Es momento de nosotros responder con otra guerra, tirarnos a la calle y decirle tanto al presidente como a los demócratas en el Senado y a los republicanos que es moralmente incorrecto lo que ellos están haciendo.
¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede.
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
Now I'd like to introduce some of the local heroes and let them explain just what they do and what these spending cuts will mean for their community.